Hey guys, today I really want to talk about Star Wars, and I've been meaning to do this since I started vlogging. In fact, a little bit before. It was kind of one of the reasons I started vlogging in the first place. I saw The Force Awakens and decided I want to talk about it. I think it was a really good film. I thought it was fucking great. I just think that there could have been some changes which could make it better. These are just my opinions. You can disagree with them. I don't really give a fuck. By the way, huge spoilers all the way through this. Watch the film if you haven't already. Here's point one. I want to remove the Starkiller base. I think it's a bad rehash of the Death Star. I think a lot of people's problems with the film came from the fact that that was so obviously so a thing that it was a rehash of that. And yeah, I think it's just lazy. I think it's lazy, and you didn't need to have this. You didn't need to have that. And instead, we could have an all number of easier to swallow things. But remember that the First Order are like a splinter group of the Empire. The Empire could build this Death Star, and I get it, 30 years of research and technology have gone on. But even so, surely they've got much less resources than the whole fucking Empire did, money-wise. Yet they can build this thing that's like 10 times the size of the Death Star. So what I'd want instead is either that they've just got a huge fleet that they've not launched yet, like they've been building loads of Star Destroyers and loads of ships on some distant planet, and that's the new reveal. Or maybe they find an old droid making facility like the one on Geonosis, or maybe some sort of, I don't know, maybe they make droids. Basically, they've got like a big army, that's a big fleet. That would be my change rather than Starkiller base. And that leads on to point two that I'd want to change, which is that I'd want to change the destruction of the New Republic, or the Republic, whatever it's called. That happened very quickly, and I know people are like, oh, I don't want the politics and stuff. I want a bit of it, because I think you need a bit of understanding of what was going on. Loads of the plot holes that were addressed in the like kind of expanded material for this film were largely due to the fact that that wasn't really addressed, in my opinion. So you move that entire sequence of the finale where they're destroying the Starkiller base, where the Republic is destroyed, and you merge them into one. So after the Cantina thing with Maz, and you know, Rey's taken, instead of being taken to the Starkiller base, she's taken aboard a Star Destroyer. Now, this is cool because at the start of the film, she's going around a destroyed Star Destroyer on Jakku. So she knows her way around the Star Destroyer. I like that, like, if she escapes, this gives it more reason that she'd know how to get around one. Sure, it's like a 30-year model from the future, but it would make more sense that she could navigate that rather than the Starkiller base, where she doesn't, you know, she seems to sneak her way around, but it's kind of why would she know her way around that? So when she escapes the Star Destroyer, she sneaks into a shuttle or something. She goes down to the surface of whatever the hell the Coruscant, but it's not Coruscant, some other capital city planet. And the finale is occurring there. So instead of this fight to destroy the Starkiller base, you've got this fight happening on the ground, and you've got the First Order are going in to try and destroy the Republic and like kill all the politicians or whatever, and the Resistance are trying to stop them, and you've got these fighting in the streets. It's kind of like, you know, like a Transformers movie in a good way, or like an Avengers movie where you've got this like fighting in big built-up skyscrapers, maybe like the sequence in Attack of the Clones, but you've got TIE fighters and X-Wings flying around, you know, hitting buildings and stuff, and you've got actual civilians running around, and like, I think that would be amazing, something we've not really seen in Star Wars, and I think that would be a lot more satisfying. Meanwhile, on the ground, you've got Han Solo and the guys who are on the Falcon. They're going down because they need to they need to activate some sort of big cannon that's going to destroy the Star Destroyers that are in space, and maybe you've got that subplot going on, and that's when they meet Kylo Ren on the surface of the capital planet, maybe the top of a tall building, I don't know, something cool like that. And all the same plot goes down, but it's all on this planet rather than on the Starkiller base, which I think would be so much more interesting. Meanwhile, you've got this subplot as well where C-3PO and R2-D2 and maybe BB-8, why not, go off, and now BB-8's busy. It's just R2-D2 and C-3PO, and they go off and they have this like little adventure where they go to the Republic archives and they get hold of the rest of the map, because that makes way more sense than R2 just having it. Because early on, General Hux, I think it's Hux or Kylo Ren, says we found the rest of the map in the Republic archives, or the Empire's archives, and I think that's a better way to deal with that whole ending. See, that's a better way to tie up it all. And obviously, you've got these fighting on the ground, you've got fighting up in space, which is kind of like it already played out. But then you've got Rey sneaking aboard a shuttle once she's escaped from Kylo, and she goes into service, and then Kylo follows her. So he's chasing after her to get down to the surface, which is why he's on the surface of the planet and why he meets Han Solo, because he's chasing after Rey. Now that all feels just way more natural, and you've got these like politicians hiding, and they're protecting them. The politicians are getting shot and stuff, and you learn a lot of stuff, and you learn that Princess Leia wanted to have a big army, or at least some sort of protection force against resistance, and the Republic said, no, we don't want that. This is all stuff from the expanded, like the novel and stuff. I've not actually read it, I've just read the Wikipedias, but that's where it's all come from. So instead of that, you've actually got this debate where Princess Leia, I told you we should have had weapons, and they're like, no, oh, we're really sorry, you were right, Princess Leia. And then they all die. And that leads me on to the third point of what I want to change, and that is that the Resistance have to lose. And this is the final thing. I think the fact that they won and destroyed the base, and then it's almost like a victory lap that they go find Luke Skywalker, was a big waste of a potential. I think they should lose. I think the planet should be destroyed. I think most of the X-Wings should be blown up. I think the politicians should die and the Republic should fall, as in the film, but that should happen as the finale, with everyone just about escaping. Princess Leia gets off the planet and Han Solo gets off in the Falcon or whatever, and you get people escape the planet just in time. You've got like, and then you're left with a situation where they've lost. The Republic's fallen. The First Order have made their first big attack, and they fucked everything up. They've like destroyed democracy, and this despair. We have despair in the galaxy, and in that darkness, R2-D2 and BB-8 come together, and they have the map, and then they go, here's the map. And then Rey's like, this is our last hope, we have to go. Rather than, they've just shown that they can destroy the biggest fucking weapon of all time. They've lost. And then they go to see Luke Skywalker to, ask him to come back to help them save the day. And that's how I changed Star Wars Episode 7.